Okay, we are on stage here at Gamescom. We're joined by Dan to talk all about Rock Band 4. Dan, how's Gamescom? How's the first day of Gamescom for you?
You know, I love Gamescom. It's there's so much energy here. There's so much enthusiasm for games just in general, and the reception to Rock Band 4 has been amazing. We've been, you know, on this stage all day, and just people come, they play the game, they ask us a ton of questions, and you know, we're here really to spread some knowledge and awareness around music games and Rock Band 4, and I love the fact that people are interested in what we have to say. It's great.
Now, Gamescom's known for being a bit sweaty, but I feel that if you guys are rocking out here for 3 or 4 days, this could be the sweatiest, most interesting smelling room in the entire convention center.
You know what? Rock Band and rock music in general is dirty and sweaty and filthy and all of that. And so, you know, it's like if we're contributing to the general kind of ambiance of the show, then I feel like we're doing our job.
I think that's right. I think that's right. A round of applause from the audience there for that. That's it. Thank you very much indeed for playing. No, but we're here talking about freestyle guitar mode. Why did you guys decide to include it this time round, and why was it not here before?
Well, so that's a great question, you know, and you know, I want to talk a little bit about the creative director of Rock Band 4, Greg LaPiccolo, who is a bass player. He's a guy that has been sort of thinking about sort of music gaming and interactive music for as long as I've known him, you know, now on 15 years. And, you know, this is sort of the first time that we've really been able to crack a problem that we've been working on forever, which is, you know, how can you have a game that is, you know, accessible, also creative, and yet doesn't sort of, you know, rely on any prior knowledge that you might have about music or composition or anything. And so the really fun thing about the freestyle guitar solos is that you can walk up with zero knowledge about Rock Band. You don't need to know anything about guitar. You don't need to know anything about music. And you just start playing notes. And we actually have done a lot of work in the sort of in the engine that helps you sort of sound good. And, you know,
shut up, God. Trying to rock out here, for God's sake. Rock Band 4, the game of the year. But go on, carry on. So, ignore them. It's just the voices in your head.
No, are you hearing that too? That's amazing.
No.
So here we are. You know, it's like we're at a point now where there's enough processing power on sort of 8th gen consoles, and we have enough. We've learned so much about what works and what doesn't work, what players need, you know, in terms of cues and sound design and game design, to not get paralyzed by choice. And you know, choice is this really complicated thing in games where if you give players too much choice, they don't know what to do. You know, games really work because they are sort of prescriptive in a way, and yet some of the most successful games are games that actually, like, you know, build on your creativity as a player and allow you to sort of take ownership of the experience. And so what we've got in Rock Band 4, what we're most excited about is that, you know, we think we've got a great way to give you, the player, an opportunity to put your sort of thumb stamp on some of the greatest music in rock and roll history by playing your own guitar solos and sort of contributing to sort of the sort of rock and roll output of the game, even while, you know, it's very fun and accessible and easy to grasp. And you played it. I mean, you tell me what you think. What do you think?
I suck bad, but I felt good sucking so bad.
You know, and that's the mark of a good game. And, you know, my guess is you want to play it again.
I'd say so. But there's a question for you about the about doing guitar solos over these existing songs. Was there any licensing problem about it? Because effectively you're putting your own mark on it.
No, not at all. You know, it's like some artists are more particular than others, but, you know, I think, you know, when it comes right down to it, you know, Rock Band is a game about a fantasy, and, you know, what we're doing with the guitar solos is directly in line with that fantasy. And, you know, we've put a lot of effort and care and just sort of, you know, our own passion into making sure that you as the player are not hitting wrong notes. We don't want anybody to, you know, walk up into this game and sound like they don't know what they're doing, or, you know, oh, I don't know how guitar solos work, so my guitar solo sounded terrible and I ruined the song. That is not the fantasy. The fantasy is, I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel great. And my guitar solo sounds awesome, and I'm actually contributing to sort of the energy in this song. And, you know, it's all about your relationship to the song, your relationship to the players that you're playing with, and you know, that's really what it's all about. And all of our music partners, you know, they're all full on, you know, into the simulation that we're building here, the fantasy of being a rock star, kind of why Rock Band exists in the first place.
You said there's you can actually play a mode where there's nothing on screen. You can just basically jam out and stuff. I guess you guys must be really interested to see what some Twitch streams will be coming up when this releases.
Well, it's funny. I mean, you know, that was a mode that we did not intend to ship. We sort of built it in because, you know, we need to test the game, and, you know, testing the game in 15-second chunks is really complicated and just sort of time-consuming. And so we added it as sort of a development cheat. And what we found through playtest and sort of through some of our experiences at, you know, E3 and here at Gamescom is that, in fact, it's really fun. And so, yeah, it's like players, you know, who are really into that sort of creative expression, you know, we want to give them the tools to play through the song. And, you know, what we found through years and years of game development, and my guess is that most developers will say the same thing, is that if you have fun gameplay, don't hold it back. Let players do the things that are really fun. And so that's sort of our strategy around sort of the, you know, forever guitar solo mode, or whatever we call it.
Forever guitar hero mode. With drums as well, I understand there's a sort of semi-freestyle mode with that as well, where there is specific drum solos, but it's a randomized. Can you go a little bit into that?
Yeah, of course. So in fact, you know, one of the, you know, Rock Band 1 had drum fills where every pad that you hit would trigger a sample. And, you know, it really gave the drummer this, you know, pretty, you know, I mean, unlimited sense of like creative control when they got to the drum fills. And it had an issue that has been very difficult to solve for, which is that, you know, system latency means that, you know, if you're playing the pre-recorded beat and you have sort of a surround sound system, or, you know, like a big nice TV kind of setup, there can be subtle but disruptive timing changes in terms of the recorded sounds relative to the sampled sounds that trigger when you hit a drum pad. And a lot of the feedback that we got from drummers was that discrepancy would actually take them out of the song. It would mess with their timing. And if you're a drummer, it's all about timing, you know? So we developed a new form for drum fills in Rock Band 4, where at the authored drum fill moments in the song, we drop in a sort of pre-authored drum fill. So you get that variety, but the drum fills are chosen or selected from a library based on their sort of appropriateness relative to the difficulty that you're in, relative to the genre that you're in. And so you get that variety, but everything is always in time, which, you know, for a drummer, particularly on sort of a high latent system, is really important.
Excellent. Are we going to hear about more songs before launch?
Of course, we have some huge announcements. In fact, just yesterday, or Monday, sorry, my calendar is all confused.
It's the jet lag.
It's a little bit of the jet lag. We announced a bunch of songs, including songs by Judas Priest, including songs by Rush. You know, we have great music, and we have a lot of really awesome announcements coming down the road. So I would urge everybody to pay attention to everything that Harmonix is doing with Rock Band 4. We've got a lot of great news to come.
Excellent. Listen, thanks very much for talking to us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.